Hello guys and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is ANZA-T and I am most definitely welcoming you to my YouTube channel. Today I am featuring my little niece Murungwa here. She's gonna be joining us if she actually stays here for a little bit. But anyway guys, today I'll be bringing you a recipe of making fluffy, cheesy garlic and herb bread rolls. This should be very yummy and delicious. They should be a very nice side dish to your meals. You can even use this to make your burgers. Like, it can be like an elevated type of bread roll that you can use, or just enjoy it as they are. So for your ingredients, you're going to need 2 large eggs, and then you're going to need some herbs. Today's herbs that we're just using parsley, and then we're going to use some garlic, some crushed garlic there, and I just picked some spring onion from the garden that you're going to use. And of course they have to be cheesy. You'll need some cheese block and instant dry yeast, and then you'll also need some milk and some margarine, which I am already melting. And then you're going to need your flour. My flour is in a bucket, so we're going to do that and we are going to bake. Momo, say bye.
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 I'll see you when I am baking. So first I am going to do the liquids that we are going to use. We are going to need half a cup of cold water, half a cup of water. Just put it into a container, and then once you've put that water, we are going to add 1 cup of milk into the water. Yay! So now that you've added these, you're going to briefly microwave this so that it just gets a little bit warm. Go back and microwave it just to get it a little bit warm, and then we are going to add our yeast, our margarine and eggs into this mixture. We are going to add some sugar into this mixture. Sugar. A half of cup of sugar. Yay! Yay! And then we are going to just whisk up that sugar. So once the sugar is in that mixture, you are going to then add a packet of yeast, dry instant yeast. This is 10 grams, about a tablespoon of dry instant yeast into this mixture. Now I'm gonna just add a half a teaspoon of salt in here. It's a little bit heaped, and my assistant is adding the salt. My assistant Amixe. So once you have this mixed in yeast mixture, you can just put it outside in a little bit of a warm space so that you start to see the yeast bloom a little bit. It forms bubbles, then we know that the yeast is active. All right, so anyway, Once your yeast is blooming in a warm space, I am going to mix in the flour and the herbs that we are going to use. However, the garlic will be mixed into the liquid mixture so that it can distribute a bit evenly within your mixture. So I am going to add 4 cups of cake wheat flour in here.
Good.
Correct. 2. Kabare.
2.
India mngana 3.
3. 4.
4. Yay, Robert. Your favorite tea. So now I am going to add my parsley in here. Parsley. I am using dry parsley, but however, the better option is the fresh parsley that you can chop up yourself. About 2 tablespoons. How many grams is this? This is 12 grams, so I'm just gonna add the whole thing. I'm just gonna reserve a little bit, like in here it's probably like 10 grams of parsley. So I'm gonna mix it in. Yay! Wait a can. Right. Tea. And then we are going to set aside that mixture, and then I'm gonna go collect the yeast that is blooming. To that we are going to add some eggs, some margarine, and our garlic as well. Okay, good. Now we are going to be adding our margarine. It's melted here, so we are going to add that into this bowl. Yay! Thank you. Oh, sharp. Thank you, ma'am. I am going to add a tablespoon of some minced garlic or crushed garlic. If you don't have, you can even use a paste, but just make sure that it mixes in properly. So like a tablespoon. These are going to be very garlicky, so that's that. And our assistant is going to mix for us. So now I'm gonna crack the eggs into this mixture. I'm not gonna trust our assistant because we might get some shells in here.
Yeah.
Lamani tea.
Really?
And then we are going to stir. And then the assistant is going to continue stirring. Now you are almost like halfway through, like you soldiered on with this recipe. So now we are going to bring back that flour and parsley mixture, and then I'm gonna slowly add in the liquid. Stir. Our assistant is stirring, but it's not effective, so I might have to stir myself. I'm just gonna add that mixture in there. Thank you. So my assistant actually bailed out on me, so I'm gonna use the back of the wooden spoon because I can't find the hook to the hand mixer. So I'm just gonna vigorously mix this until the dough is kneaded very well. So I am going to show you how, if you don't have a stand mixer, to mix, because I got tired of using the wooden spoon and went in with my fist. So you just have to like tilt your bowl and start punching it with your fist like so until it doesn't stick. As you can see, it's not sticking anymore. So you use the knuckles of your fist to swirl it around. It is a workout and a half, then it will stop sticking on the sides of the bowl. Then you know you are ready to let it proof. You are ready to let it set. I'm gonna let this sit covered with a faduk or a cling wrap for some while. Then you can come back and roll your buns. So yeah, that is it for this beautiful dough. Honestly, this dough is so beautiful. So I am going to let this rest until it doubles in size. Then we know we are ready to bake. So look at that dough. It has doubled or even tripled in size. So you're just gonna prepare a board or just your surface by spreading a little bit of flour. I'm just gonna punch that air out. And then scoop it onto the surface. So what you're going to need is about a handful of flour that we are going to use to work on our dough. So this flour is to spread your surface to make sure that the board won't stick at all. You don't need too much of it. I'm just making sure that my dough is nice and circular. And then I'm gonna flour a knife, and then we're going to divide this dough into. Okay, so now that you've divided the one big half into two halves, you're going to divide these two halves again into two halves, right? Right. So that's your one bread bun. Set it aside. You might think it's big, but once you get that air out, it's not that big. What I'm going to show you is you can adjust as you go. So when you look at the size of the other ones, you can adjust as you go. So you're going to take one half, make it a little flat, add your cheese, fold it in. This one is a little bit big, so I'm taking out some dough there. So don't be scared to adjust the size of your roll. And then we are going to do that kung fu method. I forgot that I was wearing a watch. Now it's like too late to remove it, but it's okay. So we have a roll there. So the bottom part will look very crusty and ugly, like your pinched bottom, but the top should look nice, circular and pretty. So I'm gonna set that one aside. So this recipe gave me 8 rolls, but however, if you had divided them into smaller ones, they can go up to 12. So I'm just gonna place them in a casserole dish like that. I think this casserole dish will only take like 6. This casserole dish only took 6, so I'll bake the rest in a different tray, but this look yummy. So I'm just gonna move this aside a bit, and then we are going to take our we are going to let this rest for about 15 minutes covered, so that they can just rise up a little bit more. Then we are ready. I actually feel like I'm lazy to bake the rest in a different tray, so I'll try and make space for them in the middle. I'm lazy to like make an extra dish, but they'll still be yummy either way. So I'm gonna let this poof again for like 15 minutes, but I'm living in a hot condition, so they might even like grow a little bit bigger very fast. So now we are going to prepare the egg wash that we are going to use to brush over our bread rolls. Ooh, I just made a mess. I'm just cracking one egg. And then adding a splash of milk there. Beat that up, and then I'm gonna sprinkle some spring onion into that mixture as well. And then we are going to set it aside and then prepare our rolls for baking. You see, they've risen to a bigger size than they were. So I'm gonna egg brush them, just letting that onion sit on them a bit. You can skip on the onion, really. I just wanted to use onion from our garden. So spread. And I think I should have chopped it a bit finer. So I'm gonna bake these at 120 degrees Celsius. So for bread buns, you want to bake it a little bit of a lower temperature because they will burn before they bake inside. So 120, maximum 120. Goodbye people, and thank you very much for watching. Please remember to subscribe, like, comment and share this video with your friends and families. We are almost at 10,000 subscribers. Please give us some love by subscribing to my YouTube channel. Bye bye.
Bye bye.